Hey, beautiful tribe. Welcome to my live stream. My name is Hannah, Reality Awareness, coming to you live from the lake. This is actually the space where we released the curses of humanity. I'm not sure if you watched that live stream. It was a global live healing in all dimensions in time and space of releasing all the binds of everyone carrying curses that we've ever voiced in our life. And isn't it interesting that this eclipse just gone a couple of days ago that everyone's like, reeling from, right? Isn't it interesting that 2 weeks before then, I was really intuitively guided to do that powerful live stream right here in this space that went viral, by the way, of releasing the curses of humanity. It was a global live healing. And then over this eclipse, how many people did I see posting on Facebook about throat stuff, voicing, losing their voice, like neck, like tightness in throat, like all this throat stuff, right? Like so many people I saw posting about it, and I was like, oh my goodness, like what a surprise. Now we released the curses of humanity 2 weeks prior on the new moon, right? On the dark moon, on the like releasing all this stuff, like shedding, releasing. And then by the full moon, everyone's like, oh, I can have a voice again. Like, oh, hang on. Like it was all these like hanging threads and, like literally being hung. And even that post yesterday was like flowing out about the gallows. Like, it's kind of like when we look at what shifted of humanity over this eclipse, it's like, oh, we can all step into living our truth now, not just speaking it. We can live it. It's like connecting the head and the heart coming together, right? Hey guys. Say hi when you're here, joining live. Oh, it's just about to go 11:11 here, Brisbane time, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Say hi, let me know, and let me know if this is your first live stream too, if you're one of my new followers too. Hey Laurie, hey Siaf. And I saw some other people joining live too. Let me share this. I just have come out of the Trust and Intuition group doing like a 2-hour live stream that so every week in the Trust and Intuition group, which by the way the doors are opening tomorrow, so if you're wanting to get into this powerful porterhouse of tribe that is shifting the globe with stuff like what I did on the 2 weeks ago of releasing codes of humanity, that's the sort of stuff we do in the Trust and Intuition tribe. The doors open for it tomorrow. I know how powerful was that live stream we just literally come out of. That's why my voice starts going. It's because I've just been talking non-stop for 2 hours in that group. I'm like, oh, that was a long live stream this morning in this powerful space. And okay, let me just share this. Oh look, 11:11, check it out. 1. Make a wish, guys. Make a wish. Make sure your thoughts are exactly where you want them to go. I just need to share this and then I can concentrate. Say hi, let me know you're here. Let me know if it's your first time to my live stream. Yeah, it's pretty big, Jeanette. I'll read these comments in a second. It was a big shifter eclipse, and like a lot of people have been feeling a lot of grief. They've been feeling a lot of like tears that they can't stop flowing and stuff. And I said it yesterday, and I said, you will be crying lots if you haven't been crying in the past month or so. There will be lots of grief coming up for you now. So almost finished concentrating on this because otherwise one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I can do lots of things at a time. Okay. So yeah, so it feels like going through a lot of stuff there, Jeanette. Let me bring this up so I can. Okay, awesome. Lost your partner of 5 years, and also the home. He's left us here with 4 weeks to find somewhere else to live. This moon is strong. Yes, moon is strong of shifting out. That's what I said too. If you haven't been listening to your intuition, stuff will get shifted out for you. So best thing to do, and the next 2 moons coming up too, by the way, so the next 2 months are quite big as well. So again, if you haven't been listening to intuition, it's like time to listen to intuition or things are about to get harder. Yeah. So let me know you're here. Say hi. Seeing lots of people join live. Let me know if this is your first time to my live stream. Let me know if you're watching on the replay as well. Hey Elizabeth. Hey everybody. I see Ali, Tracy, Ricky, Laurie, Danny. Hi. Yes, that was so awesome. Like, we randomly ended up talking about manifestation and the total depths of manifestation and the inauthenticity between, like, you have to be high vibe all the time, and just like, well, hang on a sec, like, anyway, so there's lots of big discussion, dropped into an awesome explanation, which I'm like, wow, that was something else. And then talking about all different dimensions and beyond. It was pretty awesome. I love my Trust Intuition tribe for that reason. You guys think that I'm my full self, like on the live stream. If you watched the weekly intuitive update at the start of this week, on the full moon, yeah, if you guys watched that and saw me talk about my new empath gifts and the feathers and stuff that are coming out, like, oh, this went next level again in the Trust Intuition tribe. You think this is next level on my public live streams? Like, oh, the stuff that we discuss in there, like, whew. So Trust Intuition is opening tomorrow, by the way. So if you guys haven't got in there yet and you've been thinking about it, tomorrow the door's open. I'm a little bit excited because this is total next level stuff, because the certification is now fully official, is in there. So if you ever want to take your spiritual business to the next level, this is where you can get your intuitive healer and life purpose activator certificate. So I'm a little bit excited because, like, this is next level. Yes, you did. Yes, awesome. Yeah, this is like goes next level in my Trust Intuition group. I didn't think that, like, you know, even when I said it on Monday, I was like, I was only going to share this in my Trust Intuition group, and I did, but it went next level again. It was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, authenticity is the way. It sure is. Cannot be any other way. If you don't like me, don't speak to me. Don't don't pretend that you like me and then, you know, ignore me or block me on Facebook, which is fine. If you don't like me, I'd rather you not listen to me, but then don't come up onto me on the street and pretend it's all normal and like you do like me. I'd rather you just not speak to me, right? Just like, just be real, guys, okay? Yeah, awesome, Elizabeth. You can rewatch. So glad I did. Yes, thank you. It was pretty powerful, that's for sure. So what did I talk about? I want to talk about this live stream. It was really interesting. This was coming through this morning, actually, and I was like, oh, I need to talk about this. So I've actually been seeing it a bit this week through a couple of clients, through a couple of people, through people on live streams, through whatever I see, whenever I see stuff. And so the whole thing I want to talk about is the attachments we make to people who are the catalysts of our spiritual awakening or profoundly help us in our life. So it's like that space of, you know, when they come in, you know, like they have let's say whoever is a catalyst for change in your life and like profoundly help you and change your life. You kind of, well, not always, but the thing I'm being called to talk about is we can create attachments to these people because they've been such significant catalyst changes for our growth, our life, and we are like connected to it. Now, I'm going to specifically talk about spiritual awakenings, like the catalysts, people who have spiritually awakened you and are the catalyst for a spiritual awakening is what I'm specifically going to talk about here right now. And just because that was what the message was coming through, but you can apply what I'm about to say to pretty much anything. You can apply it to a relationship where you've never felt so much love before until that relationship, and you can be attached to that relationship because you've never experienced so much love before from that relationship, and so you have an attachment to it and then it's also hard to let go and leave the relationship because it's like, well, I've never experienced so much love before until that relationship, so I'm too scared to let it go or walk away, or perhaps we do and then we go back a million times, and it's like because we've never felt so much love before. And so it actually goes into this attachment, yeah, and what it actually is, and just as we're talking about it now, this space of the fish, the space of like love, for example, what that person in that relationship is showing you about that much love you've ever felt before. And this is a really, really, really important point here, is the love that you feel for that person. So, you know, we get into these relationships and it's like we feel so much love for this person. We're like, oh my God, like I've never loved someone so much and I've never felt so much love from this person. And then, you know, maybe it all goes to shit, right? And then what happens, but what's important to remember is how much love you feel for that person is actually how much love you feel for yourself. Now, usually, we're not giving ourselves that much love like we are that person. The game changer comes in when you realize that how much love you feel, expanse, want to do everything for that person. Take a look and check and make sure you're doing that much, if not more, for yourself. Because how much love you feel for that person is actually how much you love yourself. And when we're not giving that much love to ourselves as well, that's when the relationship gets unbalanced, unhealthy patterns, all that sort of jazz. Yeah? So next time you're grieving the loss of somebody, or you're grieving stuff that's happened, or you feel love for somebody, or you're scared to let go of somebody because you don't want to, you're scared you won't ever get that love again, take a moment in the grief, in the tears, to ask yourself and to feel into, am I giving myself this much love? Or in your grief and your tears about how much you loved that person, realize how much love is expanding, like how much you like love that person. Can you like feel that for yourself? Can you feel that amount of love for yourself? Yeah? Game changer, reality shifter, huge, huge. And you guys know it, you guys feel it. If you guys have been in deep grief, if you've been in like love with somebody, you know what that feels like. So are you feeling that in your everyday life for yourself? If not, why not? If you can cultivate that much love for another person, you can cultivate that much love for yourself. The other thing I wanted to speak about, and like obviously that, like, and that is a powerful, pivotal turning point, right? And then we look at it for a spiritual awakening catalyst, yeah? Obviously I needed to talk about the relationship bit first, because when somebody is a pivotal catalyst for our spiritual awakening, or they help us in some way, shape or form, they've changed our life, they've saved us. If you ever find yourself going, oh my God, she saved me, or he saved me, or like, oh, I wouldn't be where I am today without that person. Like, yes, it's all good to have admiration for mentors and people and stuff in your life, but be mindful. And the thing that I was getting the message for this morning to share with you guys is be mindful when you are hooking in. So spiritual awakening now I'm talking about. So this person was the catalyst for your spiritual awakening. And sometimes that comes from being in a relationship with somebody. You know, like we're not really spiritual, or we don't really know much about it, and then someone comes along and they're like really spiritual or stuff like that, and I'll read comments shortly, and they're really spiritual, what have you, and they like we're, I guess I'm going to use the word hooked into them, just in a sense of we're hooked into them, attachment, whatever label you want to put on it, because not only did we love them so much, which is the reflection of love we have for ourselves, but also they woke us up to a whole new reality and spirituality, and it's like they were the pivotal turning point for you to a whole new world, right? Now, what can happen is that instead of, and this goes for pretty much any addiction, and that's why I said at the start of this live stream, specifically talking about the spiritual awakening catalyst, but you can apply this to anything, okay? Especially because addiction can be applied to anything, right? So with that person of the spiritual awakening, we're like, because the whole point of being awake, of meditating, of receiving intuition, blah blah, is to connect, and I'm going to point up to the sky, but connect into our own intuition, connect to nature, connect to our our own intuition. Yeah, connect to our own source, our own spiritual guidance, our own self, okay? Now, if we're not taught how to do that, yeah, if we're not trained how to do that, if we're not taught how to do that, if we don't take responsibility and learn how to do that for ourselves, we will always have an attachment to that person because they taught you how to connect, especially if you're just in personal relationship with them. It's like you only know how to connect with them. So it's like when you're not with them, you kind of start to fall away or fall down, or like, oh, well, it's turning shit, and you've got to be with them, because what you're actually doing is you're hooking to spirit through them. Yeah? Rather than coming into your own spiritual connection and maintaining that. Yeah? You're like hooking through another person. Yeah? So I got that message to share with you guys today. For whatever reason, obviously I need to hear it, because the point of being able to connect to our own intuition is that, one, it takes the pressure off them. You know how people say, like, oh, you're draining or you're whatever. It's like, well, usually because that person's self-care is really fucking low, they don't know how to connect to their own resources, so they're trying to plug into everyone else or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we can meet someone and can be amazing, but then if we both forget to connect to our own spiritual resources, we both go down, and it's just like, oh, this great big unconscious black mess, right? But when we bring the light back to it and we connect to our own resources, then we can continue going along together. Yeah? So for whatever reason, I needed to share that, because you can apply that, you know, hooking into. And the other message that I was getting is, like, sometimes, like, and as an empath, especially as a leader online and what have you, it's, you know, obviously I feel people all the time. Yeah, I feel people when they're tuning into me. I feel people when they're, you know, connecting in, you know, watching my live stream, whatever, you know, like if they're really tuning in, I can feel them tuning in, you know, like it's really clear. And it's just really important to, you know, and the other part that I want to point out, so the message coming through, is that the other unhealthy dynamic that can go from this, yeah, so this person's connecting through this person, okay? The other thing that can happen in that sort of a relationship dynamic is that this person actually gets power from this person hooking into them. So even though they might be connected or whatever, they also draw power from this person connecting in. So without them, they're like, oh, I've got to have this person back because they've got to hook in because I feel better when they're like this. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and this is like, it works both ways, yeah? But obviously, you know, we can both pull ourselves out of it, of course, but it does take two willing people to do the work and consciously work through that. But it's like, yes, that person can be hooking through, and you might not consciously know you're doing it either, usually not in the start until we become aware of it, just like everything. But this person can also draw power off everyone hooking into them, and it's like, I'm the source, you must come to me, this is how we connect, only this way. Sorry, I don't know where that's coming from. Like an overinflated ego space, I guess. And this is where I'm like, no, here's the tools, resource yourself, learn how to do it yourself. I'm a person who is very passionate about, here's the tools, this is how you do it, now find your own way with how you're doing it too, okay? Because I'm like, instead of me catching the fish for you to give you one meal, I would rather throw the line out, teach you how to fish, give you the fishing rod, here you go, you can catch your food for the rest of your dinners. I don't need to do it for you. It keeps me in a healthier space of being clearer in my intuition, rather than having people coming through me and pulling on me, and then me going, oh, I need these people, and it like steps into this like total different energetic vibration when, you know, like it's like you need people to come to you. And this is why I'm passionate in Trust Intuition, to teach you how to tools, and then within the tools, find your own way too, and create your own tools, you know. And then with the Trust Intuition certification, so you can become a certified intuitive healer and life purpose mentor, it's literally about being able to guide people to do their own thing. Yeah, exactly. A true teacher healer teaches others to heal themselves. Like people, I'm like, I am not your healer, you know, like I don't, you know, even people in the 21 days, all my clients, they come to me and I'm like, here's the tools, do it yourself. The only way and place that I will do it for you is when you book a distance healing. Now, I was so resistant to doing distance healing for years, like, you know, that's why I only started doing them last year, right? Because I got the intuitive nudge, it was so strong. And what I realized, and the intuition and everything that came through about that time, is that so, you know, because I was so passionate, I don't want people hooking in through me. I'm like, you guys can do it yourself. Like, I'm not your healer. You can heal like me. Like, you got the power too. Like, that's what I'm passionate about. And it's like, I can guide you, but like, find your own way. Like, trust your intuition, right? It's like, I got it tattooed on my finger. And it's like, the only reason I do distance healing is the intuition that came to me is like, it's kind of like going in for surgery. Sometimes we need the doctors to remove a big tumor and then we can do the rest of the healing ourselves. But sometimes we can't, you know, do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And that's kind of what a distance healing is like, that I got the intuition. I was like, well, that makes sense. Sometimes you need a head start, you know, this thing, and then you keep doing the support and stuff afterwards, right? So for whatever reason, I needed to jump on and tell you guys that message. It was really strong coming through. I've seen it a lot through this week in particular as well, with the eclipse full moon and all of that jazz. So you love doing distance healing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is really peaceful here. This is actually the same place that I did the, what's it called? The Releasing Curses live stream. It's so interesting. I was called back to this particular place 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you just joined during this live stream, you watched the start when I was speaking about it, and people being able to actually speak their voice now, and the noose being removed from our neck. And I'm like, 2 weeks ago I did the whole Releasing Curses Humanity, which curses is all about speaking. You curse with your voice, yeah? And now we can all, now that's all lifted, we're like, oh, I feel comfortable to speak my voice and not get hung, right? Or beheaded, yeah? So amazing. Let me check these comments because I know you guys are commenting in, and I'm putting the link to Trust Your Intuition in the comments there as well. So if you have ever felt called to trust your intuition, you can join in tomorrow. The doors are opening for super early birds. Super early birds only 4 days only, and then the early bird price starts next Wednesday or Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. So all right, let me just check these comments. Sometimes guilt stands in the way, but releasing that is key for spiritual growth. Yes, yeah, and that's the thing, you know, like that's the people pleaser in us. We want to, you know, we're like, oh, I better be this person to this, you know, so it's like really dropping down underneath, deep underneath. Hey, welcome, Tam Trees. I always put my partner on a pedestal. Yes. Red flag. So when you're noticing yourself putting somebody on a pedestal, that's when you're hooking in, yeah? And it's like, whoa, okay, cool, let's just bring them down to my level because everyone's on the same level. Let me connect to my own source, right? Really, really important, yeah? When I started to try and turn that around for me, he left. He expected it all to be ways because I fell into his pattern. Yeah, and that's the thing. When we are in those sort of situations and then we change, and the energetic vibration changes. So I saw something not long ago and it said relationships are an energetic match or an energetic vibrational agreement. We enter into a relationship with an energetic agreement. If one person changes their energy, so doing internal work and stuff, and that other person feels the energetic changes, it's like I teach this in Trust Intuition. I'm like, you know, one of the videos is like, okay, let's just check in, like how's things going, because by now usually stuff starts shifting in your reality. How's everyone feeling around you? Because this is what happens. The energetic vibration changes and people feel that. They might not know what changes, and they'll either change with you or they will disappear, yeah? It wasn't until I loved myself first and most, that was when I opened up to real love, another partner as an equal. Exactly. That's exactly what that post was about yesterday, day before, the failed relationship. It's the superiority and equality. And this is interesting, yeah, well, what we're talking about is all the same thing, yeah? That superiority is when we hook in, and the superiority person draws off those people's light as well. So I guess it's like, yes, that person is connected, but at the same time they're also not, because they're using that as their power source too. Like there's a feed going on there, and that's why in relationships always two that takes two the tango. Very powerful message, needed to be reminded of this. Yes. Awesome, love hearing that. I can't see, oh, I can scroll up on there, check the comments there. I love doing distance healing, so do I. Feels like a weight has been lifted. Oh, I love hearing that. On my live streams, my public live streams, guys. Want healing, just randomly scroll through or check my YouTube for all those ones on there and just see what you need to hear, yeah? You're so welcome, Mel. Lovely to have you here. I had distance healings every surgery. Yep. Every chemo, it's where it helps. Yes, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, it is both. And this is what I always say, you know, if I ever am in an accident, I would want the ambulance to take me to hospital, you know, like the medical is there for a reason, you know. It's not like, I mean, like, how many, can you guys hear the birds? Just like, they're so loud, all the lorikeets, and the rainbow lorikeets doing their party dance. You know, like, I'd want them to take me to hospital, like, you know, in the 1800s, so many people died because we didn't have antibiotics. Do you know what I mean? Like, that sort of thing. It's really, really, it's both. Yeah, we use both. And this is where I think when we're talking about the collective consciousness is shifting and the world's coming back into balance and the patriarchal, you know, control is dissipating and the feminine is rising, the matriarchal, what's actually happening is it's coming back into that balance, and it's so that it is loud, awesome. It is that balance, and it's like, well, the medical and the spiritual is like, let's both work together. You know, it wouldn't surprise me as if 5-10 years time, finally, maybe it might take longer, I don't know, that in our medical hospitals, healers would be there too. You know, like, it's both. It's not separate anymore, you know, like, I don't know, how's that for a prediction? How many years do you reckon it'll take, guys? Like, let's have some numbers. Let's see what intuitive numbers we're picking up of how long it would take for our world to have healers like myself working alongside the medical system. Oh, this is a tricky one, isn't it? Let's fill into this. This is awesome. Let's have a dive into this, because when we really think about that, it would have to be like pharmaceutical companies would have to have a bit of a consciousness shift. Yeah. So, interesting concepts, that planting the seeds, or is this what's to come? Ooh, what's happening here? What magic are we planting here? Sorry, that just came through. I love it. Love that. Hannah says, I would love to be healed. I think something definitely happened in a past life, as often as I can't move forwards in this life. Yeah, I teach that in my Trust Your Intuition course, 100 years. Yep, 100 years. Isn't it interesting, you guys picking that up? This is awesome. I like this. This is awesome that you guys said that. Thank you for sharing that. Believe science and spirit work together. Yes, they do. So Hannah, when you said, you know, like, past life is why you can't move forward, and that's why my Trust Intuition course is specifically designed and structured to be able to heal out these things, dropping into past life, dropping before then, and coming back to shift it out, because it's just kind of like, if we're not doing that, of course we're not going to be able to move forward. So yeah, it's definitely that. I've become a lot more mindful since that Releasing Humanity Curse live stream. Oh, how friggin' powerful was it, right? Yeah, 40 years, the Aboriginal healers were now part of hospitals. Ooh. They are now a part of hospitals? How come I didn't even know that? So loud and beautiful. Yay! So true. I trained as an Emojo child wellbeing facilitator. I've never heard of that before. Teaching kids self-help, self-awareness, and the meditations helped and changed my mindset. Yes, so could explain how we didn't like it. Yay! Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially when we teach, we grow so much. Yeah, this is so interesting. You picked a century. Thank you so much for that. 40 years. Yep. Yes, same. I would rather it be sooner than later too. But yes, I think it's going to take a big shift, or maybe not. But hey, when the world's ready for it, it will appear for sure. Feel it starting already. Yes, as I told my doctor I want natural over meds, and she agreed. Yeah, I've got a doctor that's pretty open to this stuff as well. So they are out there, definitely. It's just about finding them, yeah? So just scrolling through these comments here, as I know there was some that I missed, I see. Thanks for joining live, guys. Okay, yeah, awesome. I did see them all. Yay, I did see them. I saw an article about it somewhere. Yeah, isn't that so interesting? Love that. That's awesome confirmation that's already happening. It's already happening. All right, I feel like I've shared what I needed to say here, guys. It was short but powerful. It was just like, whoa, a strong message came through. kind of good because I just spent 2 hours on the live stream in the Trust and Intuition group. So I'm like, how long do I need to talk on this live stream? I can feel my voice still strong, but yeah, 2 hours. That was so powerful in there. That was just like dropped us into a whole nother world in there. So I'm so glad this helped you. If you think that this can help somebody, or if you've got any questions about Trust and Intuition, the doors open tomorrow. Super early bird is 4 days only. So please send me a message if you've got any questions at all about it. The link is in the comments here, and it's also at the heading of this live stream as well. Yeah, that was so good. Kylia says, I believe also that the state medical where I live includes mindfulness type counseling. Yeah, it is starting to infiltrate for sure. It is, definitely. It certainly is. So you guys are so welcome. Please share this if you think it can help somebody, or send it in a private message. Tag them in the comments, and I shall see you very soon. Lots of love. Namaste with all the rainbow lorikeet heart opening birds making their tuny tunes for you guys to remember to stay in your heart. Mwah.